Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Roast.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
This is our Only Murders in the Building, Season 5, Episode 8, Reaction and Review. Here we are coming out of what is, in my opinion, one of the better episodes of this season. Like, I actually had a legitimately good time throughout. We actually learned some stuff as well.
Ladies' night with Detective Williams and Loretta. I mean, it was so funny. This was a really funny episode. And I think there was a lot of, resolution in some things, more questions in other things. I know everybody's going to be talking about Randall and the elevator crank, obviously. But for me, the thing that really stuck with me was, who was Sofia sleeping with that Nikki saw and then didn't name? It sounds to me like this is the murderer, or this is somebody who's connected to the murder. This person is very important.
I think what's become really interesting and pretty well done this season is that they continue to obviously give us new suspects, but at the same time, new motives, because we didn't really get this whole casino idea until a couple of episodes ago, and then it became, all right, maybe this is all about the casino, and now we're getting this other possible motive that is being thrown in here as well, and this just complicates things yet again.
Yeah, because whoever is sleeping with Sofia, if it's, say, Jay or Bash or the mayor, and these are the three suspects that I've got in my head, that it's either they're sleeping with her to push about the casino, and that is why we have Nikki then coming in being like, you know what, I'm all in the casino. This happened, and I know that, the Velvet Room is Sofia's whole legacy or whatever, but I'm in, let's take it instead. Or is this just plain jealousy that whoever ended up sleeping with Sofia really fell for her, and she was like, you know what, this was a mistake, it was a one-time thing, now Nikki is seen, I don't want my marriage to fall apart, I'm done with it, and then they killed Nikki, and it was actually passion, and that's why we have a cleaver, because a cleaver really feels like la passion.
It really does. It feels like a season of American Horror Story at that point when you're throwing that in. Okay, we are going to get into all of this stuff. I mean, yeah, we'll obviously talk about Randall and the elevator crank as well, plus a number of really memorable moments. But before we go into anything more here, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because we are here with multiple Only Murders in the Building videos a week. We have reviews, previews, theories. We're talking about all sorts of great stuff, and subscribing, that's just the number one way to make sure you do not miss any of it.
Also, happy birthday, Matt.
Thank
It is
you.
Matt's birthday. If you want to give him a little bit of a gift, head over to our Instagram, which is Matt and Jess TV, and give us a follow over there. I hope you had a good birthday.
I did. It was really, really great. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of you who are following us on Instagram.
Yes, thank you.
All right, let's just get into, as you put it, la passion here.
Yeah, I mean, we got this whole backstory of Camilla, who, Nikki was like years back flirting with her, and she took it to mean that it was, I guess, more than it was. That for him, he was like, yeah, my marriage is in some trouble, and yeah, I'm flirting a little bit, but that's where it ends. I'm not actually going any further with that. And for Camilla, she was just kind of like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to buy up all these apartments and I'm going to turn this into a casino. If it's not with him, then it's without him, sort of thing. But then it does turn around, where all of a sudden you see Nikki is like, oh my God, I walked in on my wife and fill in the blank here. And I'm really upset. She's had this affair and now I am ready to move on. I wasn't okay to do this to her. This was her legacy. The Velvet Room, that's her thing, not my thing, her whole family thing. And I'm done with it. Camilla, let's go. And I was just like, who is she sleeping with? Because even Camilla was like, oh, well, who was it? Like, if you saw who it was, it's like, I saw with my own eyes. Okay. Is it Jay? Is it Bash? Or is it the mayor?
Okay, I will give my perspective here, and this is probably not a surprise to anyone who's been watching all season. It is the mayor. They're gonna kill the mayor at the end of this season, watch, and then in season 6, I'm still gonna be claiming he's a killer for various things, but okay.
I think it could be the mayor. Mayor's very top of the list. Then it's Jay, then maybe Bash.
So in my head, I'm thinking, all right, so the mayor, we already know he could have some sort of role going on here with the casino, where it could be a situation where he's getting bribes in order to make it happen, or he wants to do something to make sure it doesn't happen so that he can then go to his constituents and puff out his chest a little bit and look like a hero and win the re-election. But in getting in particular to the affair part of this, the possible relationship with Sofia, the biggest piece of evidence, and this is something that totally led me astray before this season. Let's hop in a time machine here.
Oh, all right. Beep, bop, 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 boop. Okay, we are in the past.
Oh, right. Oh, we're at the restaurant and the mayor's here. And oh, Charles is here with Sophia. Way back when, I really thought that this was all about the mayor sort of spying on Charles to make sure that he had information about what Charles was doing. Now, I'm starting to be like, okay, are you actually spying on Sophia because you don't want information potentially getting out about the relationship the two of you had?
Yeah, because here's the thing. I mean, if you've got she's in a relationship, he's in a relationship, and they're having a relationship together, and now Nikki knows about it, he has seen it, this could ruin the mayor. And while he's got other people, whose hands are in his cookie jar, like Bash, who's paying for everything, his niece is the assistant, on and on and on, having Nikki know this information, that's a problem. Like, that's a huge problem.
Yeah, it really, really is. And I think there's a couple of different interesting ways to look at this. I mean, one of them is very much, I don't know, a testament to how society works, that in a lot of ways, the mayor sleeping with a married woman would be a bigger scandal than almost anything else he could possibly do.
Yeah.
That's a big problem he would need to look at. Obviously, he doesn't want information getting out. The election is a big part of this. There's all these different motives that are being juggled here at the same time. And one of the other things about people in the mayor's position is that they always tend to think that they can just get away with almost anything.
And that was the weird thing about the mayor in the first place, is he's really on edge. Like, that whole conversation that he had with the trio when the assistant left, he was on edge. Like, it felt like more than what he was saying. Like, okay, great. So Bash is paying for everything and he's getting you to like pull all these strings. How is it making you this nervous?
It's a really interesting point here. Like I've already said, I would love it to be Keegan-Michael Key because it's a different sort of role for him. But I think just beyond all that, I'm just really interested in them potentially going down this passion rope, because I'm going to be a massive hypocrite here for a second. Usually the whole, oh, it's the affair that led to the murder thing. Like, I usually feel that it's so hokey. It's been done a million times, and it's just, after being led on all these directions this season, I would actually like it. I think it would actually be good.
Yeah, I'd like the reason to be just more complicated than it's just the casino, or it's just an affair, or it's just feelings, or it's just I'm protecting my reputation. Like, if it's the mayor and it's all of these motives, I mean, that makes it very, very rich.
Yeah, it really, really does. So, like, there is clearly a lot of information that could be pointing to the mayor, but at the same time, as you alluded to, he's not the only possible suspect here.
He is not the only possible suspect. And since there are two other billionaires that were also bidding for the casino at this time, I mean, it's possible that either one of them decided that they were going to try to hit on Sofia and have an affair with her, because that was then going to get things kind of jiggling and moving around with Nikki as well. So, I mean, which then also messes things up for Camilla, because Camilla's trying to get the Arconia. And if you've got Sofia, who's, disheveled from all of this, and now Nikki's upset about all of this, that ruins things for Camilla, because now nobody is stable. And who she needs is Nikki or Sofia to be able to help her get this casino with the Arconia.
It's so interesting that neither Bash nor Jay are actually in this episode, and yet at the same time, it's almost like their ghost is haunting it, because Bash, anywhere you turn, we're talking about technology, the big discovery at the end of this episode that there's one camera that Bash cannot control, and then Jay is off screen communicating, texting with Mabel, who's still No, Mabel. No, Mabel.
Yeah, here's the thing. Okay, so we don't know for sure what's going on under Jay's bandage here, but I mentioned this in a couple videos ago that I feel like it was Jay, or Jay had something to do with the actual fight with the hatchet, and that he ended up, struggling, and he got the hatchet in his hand, whether he chopped off a finger or just hit him in the hand or whatever it is, that is why that has happened, that he's strong enough to have actually fought Nikki. Like, I can't see Camilla actually fighting Nikki. And yeah, okay, Bash is supposed to be 13 years old in this like 80-year-old body or whatever, but it's not, it doesn't feel like it's him.
No, like all of that evidence at this point points a little bit towards Jay. And it is kind of interesting. We do talk a lot about when is this person getting a spotlight? When is that person getting a spotlight?
Jay, no spotlight, but Camilla spotlight, Bash spotlight.
Yeah, we've had a lot of those too. And I mean, we can say that episode 7 gave us a lot of Bash. I mean, at the same time, it didn't necessarily like completely disprove that he could be the killer.
No.
And I want to live in a world where Only Murders is starting to be like, we know what you guys are thinking about us, so we're going to double bluff you. Like, for example, the start of this episode, we had the Lorraine narration.
Yes.
And you've been with us. You know what we say about the narration in episode 7 or episode 8.
Absolutely. When you start to get into the narration of 7 and 8, you are getting whoever is the murderer.
I did spend, and I'll admit this freely, like 5 seconds being like, could Rainey actually have done this?
No, me too.
It's just, okay, it's just a situation.
It's because the formula.
It's because, and they're leaning into this. I feel like throughout this episode, I don't want to call them full-on clues that Rainey's the killer, but it seems like they're establishing red herrings. Like, oh, she's asking about the evidence. Oh, she's pointing out all of these things. Oh, she's talking. It's just every time something is going on related to the case, she's kind of there being really sad.
And it's interesting too, because they've brought up this idea here that maybe Lester didn't die because he saw something, but it's because he was involved in something. And that, on the other hand, may not sit well with Lorraine.
Yeah, and so they want us to think about this, but I don't think it's Rainey. I don't understand what in the world the motive would be on that.
Yeah, I don't know what it would be. And if she was going to take out Nikki with a hatchet, I mean, she would have had to taken him by surprise. He's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy. She's older. We haven't really seen her run around or move around that much. And it's just, she's a really good actress. And I'm not speaking about the actual actress here, but it's just like Rainey would have to be a really good actress for how sad she's been for episodes now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the bird call, because Jess and I both, we have thought for a long time that this bird call was going to be very, very much involved throughout all of this.
Yeah, I mean, we both kind of thought that it was going to be like a call for help or something along those lines. And in some ways it was, but not in the way that we thought, where there's actually like a bird app, and if you blow the whistle, then it attaches to the app, and there's an actual camera out there, which is where we ended up seeing Randall kind of like do in the courtyard for a second. Like, he didn't look like he was sneaking in or running in, and then he saw the elevator crank and was like, oh noes, and went and cleaned it up.
Yeah, this was really, really interesting. Like, I had to go back and watch this a couple of times, because I feel like this is another case of classic Only Murders rope-a-doping going on here.
It's not him. I don't think so.
I don't think it's him. But for that split second, I was just like, oh, it could be him. It could. But then, like, I came to my senses, and I was like, okay, he is running into frame. If somebody was taking out Lester with an elevator crank, he would already be in the frame. Like, that part of it wouldn't make any sense.
If he was taking out Lester with the elevator crank, why would he drop it, leave, and then come back like, oh, it's the thing I just killed Lester with. I guess I better pick it up. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it really, really doesn't. And so what seemingly has happened here is some indeterminate amount of time before Randall shows up here, the deed has been done. Like, I'm assuming it's not an extremely long period of time, because this is a huge building. It's kind of hard to believe that a bunch of people would just walk by this scene and not do anything.
Here's the thing, though.
Okay.
Tinfoil hat that I've worn on Randall all season.
All right.
I don't necessarily think he's a killer, but I do think that those gloves are hiding dirty hands. I think that when he first came on board and Lester was getting these envelopes of money and he was like, Randall, you don't want anything to do with this. I'm not bringing you in on it.
Mhm.
I think that Randall got very curious about it and kind of went around to figure out what was going on so that he could maybe get his hands on some of that money as well. And that whole like die Lester die that was in the table,
Yeah.
it was spelled Lester with an E. It was not spelled Lester with no E like it is with the robot.
You clocked that really, really early on. And
Yeah.
it's really important because it does solidify, okay, he really does have there's some sort of axe to grind with the actual Lester here,
Yes.
meaning that Randall may have found out something more, and Lester did get really, really furious about her, as furious as a guy like Lester is going to get.
Yep.
Lester might have thought, okay, you know what? I'm trying to help him in some way. But
Right.
I'm with you. I don't think Randall is the killer here. I think there's one of two things that are happening. Is either that, yeah, he did get involved way over his head in a way in which he did not expect. I mean, I guess it's possible that someone was paying him to dig into all of this.
Yeah, I think he was getting paid off by whoever the murderer was
Mhm.
or whoever to like, I still think somebody was paid off in the building, one of the support staff to store Nikki's body in the freezer there. I think that's where the body was and that somebody there, that whole support staff episode was not for no reason.
No, there does have to be some reason and some person responsible for this, because here's the thing, like there was a part of me that briefly did feel like, okay, what if this is a situation where Randall got in over his head, Lester tried to warn him, and then ultimately Randall stumbles upon this and then takes off with the elevator crank because he just feels guilty over what happened and it's like, oh my God, I'm responsible for this. But that doesn't fully track with the idea then that somebody had to move that body. I don't foresee these two things being that disconnected.
I just think that there's a lot of moving parts of these murders. That's not just like one person did all these murders and it's Randall or whatever. I think that there's a different people that have been helping to either cover up evidence. We know Bash has been, taking out pieces of video. Now we know
Yeah.
that Randall had the crank that's been down in Nikki's office that still had blood on it. Like, there are too many people moving around parts in this one, which makes it very exciting because
Yeah.
the beginning of this season, I was like, I'm not sure. This feels like the same formula,
Yeah.
but now it feels like it's moving very, very steadily.
Yeah, I'm really excited at this point for where we're going to be in the next couple of episodes, just because, yeah, we do have a few solid suspects as to who the big bad is going to be
Yes.
here. But then there's also the idea that did they hire somebody? Did they have a man on the inside? And I think the idea of it being Randall does chart even more when we just sort of sit back and look at how clueless this guy was. Even after Lester died, trying to handle everything. I mean, he could have been playing dumb and just trying to get people to share information, or he might have been slacking off on the actual job because he didn't really care about being a doorman in the first place.
Absolutely. Just like Lester did.
It's a really interesting game of connections that they're
Yeah.
playing this season. So, like, from a theory standpoint, we're in a really, really good spot. But now let's just move a little bit into a comedy standpoint with all the good stuff we got in this episode.
Everything with Detective Williams. Hey, ladies, I'm here for ladies' night. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Her comedic delivery and timing is just like a 10 out of 10 every time. She's the funniest person on the show.
It's remarkable. Like, there are so many people, and it was just the premise of getting all of these characters together in this same way. I feel like the writers had to have been salivating at the idea, okay, we're going to have Divine in an episode. We're going to have Meryl in an episode. We're going to have Renee Zellweger in an episode.
And Selena all together having such laughs. It was really funny.
It was really fun. I really thought going into this we were going to have Uma. And I mean, there is a part of me that is still a little salty we don't. But at the same time, I am sitting here and I'm being like, Uma would have just went in there, told everybody off, and gotten thrown out of Ladies' Night immediately.
Yes.
It really just wouldn't have worked. And now we also do get this other side plot that's going on here when it comes to Charles and Oliver and their couples therapy, which it was a little bit ridiculous, but I do feel like there were some important moments we got in here as well.
Kind of. I feel like if they were going to do this and they were going to go there, that this was a moment for them to really dig deeper. Like, I understand that this is a comedy. Absolutely. This is a very funny show. But they also have had some really deep, meaningful conversations and moments on this show, whether it is between these two men or Mabel or whatever. Like, we've had much deeper, emotional, important conversations between the two of them than this, where, Marty's like, Mommy, I'm afraid. I'm like, okay, great. Like, this could have been a really good, solid, emotional moment for these two men, and it didn't get there for me.
I feel like it's good that we at least see Charles understanding his big flaw when it comes to women.
Yeah.
I do agree it could have been deeper. It could have been more emotional. I mean, we know that Steve and Marty both are really, really capable of it.
It's always nice when you have a comedy like this where you do have some serious I mean, this is a show about murder, right?
Yeah.
And these are very complicated characters. And in the past, when they have done stuff like this, but it's been less comedy and diving a little bit deeper, it's been some of the best stuff that this show has done.
Yeah, and I feel like this could have been a foundation to ultimately Charles opening his eyes fully. I think they're open partially now, and maybe we'll get there, but this is all going to fuel speculation more that we do think there's going to be a season 6, but there's a good chance season 6 might be it, guys. And I don't say that with pleasure, but it's just this idea that, okay, if Charles is realizing what he needs in order to be happy, how much more story can you do on the other side of that? Just like if Mabel ever realizes what she really needs in order to be happy, and it's not just, oh, I'm going to have a love interest this season and another this season, and oh, I might be interested in Jay now.
Oh my goodness. Like, every season there's a love interest. And this one with Jay, I mean, they have barely spent any time together. Like, this whole season, they may have been in a room together like 30 minutes for it to get to this point where she's just like, oh, I'm thinking about this boy and blah, blah. I'm just like, oh, wow. Like, there's so many other things that are going on for Mabel. Like, she is losing her home.
Yeah.
The Arconia is done. Like, Camilla has 51% of it all. She can now just get rid of everybody out of the building and turn this into a casino. Like, Mabel, you're losing your home. Who cares about this boy?
Yeah, okay, there's 3 things about this episode and where we are that are kind of bugging me a little bit. And like, that's number 1. It's just, I don't think Mabel would be thinking this way. I don't think Mabel really as a character would be interested in somebody like Jay.
I actually don't think so either. She's had other love interests that were way better. And like, where is Theo? Because that's Endgame.
Yeah, like that's the one we all really, really want to see. And Theo's just off in the wind. I don't know what's happening there. It's just she's seen Charles with dangerous people before. It's kind of a weird thing that she would be kind of sort of into this at all.
I think it's very weird that she would see that he's a suspect and still be into him, knowing what happened with Charles. She's a lot more level-headed than that, and that's how they've made this character. So it was very out of character for the little amount of time that she's actually spent with Jay.
The other, well, number 2 here on my list is, where is Howard? And
I know.
Like, I'm not sitting here and being like Howard needs to be in every episode. Like, I do really like this character, but you mentioned it. The Arconia is being sold. We don't really have Howard's perspective on this.
Know.
And since this show has kind of forgotten that Nina, or to some extent Bunny, or anybody who ever ran the building was around, he is kind of the representation of the Arconia and all of the people, and he's just, I don't know, out in the ether somewhere.
Yeah, I'm very curious about it, and I feel like we're going to get some answers. I mean, we've seen him with this robot where I'm like, are you running the building now? Like, why are you the person with this robot? He has been at the building a very, very long time. Has he been paid off by Camilla? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand all that. Like, do I think he could play a role in saving the Arconia? Sure. Just like it's hard to really buy that Camilla's ultimately going to get this in the end. I wonder if she's going to have some magical change of heart. We'll wait and see when it comes to all of that. All right, third big question here, and this one's small, but it's on my mind. Vince, you have the eye patch back on. They were saying, oh, you're cured. He's got it back on. No explanation for it whatsoever throughout this episode.
He has said that it comes and goes. So, it's fine. I'll let that one go. It's a funny bit.
It's a funny bit. It's not as okay. The funniest thing of this entire episode is Marty admitting that he had problems with this picker because of that just felt like Martin Short just said that in the moment. And it wasn't in the script.
There feels like there's a lot of improv that's going on this season, and it has been the funniest season to me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I will say that I think that even though Camilla owns 51% of this now, I don't necessarily think she's going to have a change of heart. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But if it turns out that Jay is not the killer, that he might have some sort of a change of heart. If they really want her to have this love interest, that maybe he's going to be the person that's like, you know what? I'm going to buy out whatever I can to make sure that this building stays the same.
If they're trying to give us some sort of
grand gesture,
I think it would be interesting to give one of them some element of character growth here, other than just being like, these billionaires, they're exactly who you thought they were, and they haven't changed at all.
And it would also benefit Jay because he doesn't want that casino to happen. So it'll be a win for Mabel and a win for Jay.
So here we are then, coming out of episode 8. We still have a ton of different suspects. The show really hasn't completely disproven all that many people at all.
Mm-hmm.
And yet at the same time, I'm more into it now than I was last season at this point, where it did kind of feel like everything was slowing down a little bit.
Yep.
But that is where we are with Only Murders in the Building, season 5, episode 8. So let us know in the comments, who do you guys think is behind all of this? We want to know your theories, and also hit that subscribe button, and you can support us further by joining our Patreon. We have a link in the description for that. Thank you so much for your support over there. It really does mean the world to us, and we will see you here next time.